Hi pilots and aviation lovers, welcome to the next series or next section of our Garmin 750 650 system tutorial. The first video is up, and if you haven't watched it yet, please go back and watch it. That will show you what to do when you turn on your avionics master switch, how to set up the system to get to this page. Now the next thing that I want to show you guys in this video is all of the buttons and the dial we use on this system. We have 4 total. We have 2 dials and 2 soft buttons. So we're going to start from the left to the right and then down the line. Okay, so let's start from the left. The left, we have a dial. Okay, this dial is for your COM volume, your communication volume. The COM volume control, let's say you're listening to the weather, it is, and it's coming in too low or it's coming in too loud. This is where you adjust your volume. If ATC is talking to you and it's coming in too low or too loud, this is where you adjust your volume. Anything outside of the aircraft coming inside of the aircraft, any noise outside of the aircraft coming through your headset, voice wire, like CTAV, people in the traffic pattern, all of that, this is where you control your volume. So you twist it to the left to decrease, and you twist it to the right to decrease. This button also set as your squelch volume. Okay, so if you press it in one time, you see it says SQ, that's your squelch. Now this volume also help you immediately turn in your 121.65, your emergency frequency. Okay, let's say you're in an emergency and you want to dial 121 instead of twisting and typing. You can press in this volume and hold for 2 seconds. So if I press and hold, it switch it to 121. So, and it right here also we're going to talk about is going to put your transponder code for the emergency. So for example, let's say this 1 2 3 5 6, enter. Okay, and this is one goodness, let me put a good frequency, 8810, enter. Okay, so now let me change this 1 2 4. Okay, 1 2, okay, goodness gracious, 120200, enter. Okay, so what I mean by it helps you switch to your emergency frequency. Let me change this thing to 1200. Okay, see, this is 1200, and okay, but now let me hold this down for 2 seconds. See, it switched to 121.50, and it switched your transponder code to 7700. Okay, now this thing is blinking. Let me see. I got switch fuel tank. I'm going to switch a fuel tank. Okay, so that is what this button do for you. Okay, increase or decrease the COM volume, which will be ATC, anyone listening to weather, anyone in the traffic pattern, if they're coming in too loud or too low, this is where you change it. Coming to the far right, you're going to see a button that says home. This button will always bring you to this page. Let's say anywhere you are and you get lost, instead of going back, pressing the back button, you press this one button, home. It will always bring you to the beginning. Okay, always bring you to the beginning. Okay, let's say I'm here and I come in here, and if I want to get to the home page, you can go back. There's 1, there's 2 times you press it, right? Let's say, what if you 5 okay, now let's go back. There's 1, there's 2. See right here. So what if I do this and do this and do that, and I want to get home? Instead of pressing it 2-3 times, one time, it bring me home. That's what a home button is. Home button is just like your GPS on your phone when you set your home destination, and anytime you press home, it'll direct you to home. This is what a home button do. So now coming down, you're going to see another soft button with a D and an arrow. That's what we refer to as direct to. Okay, your direct to is lunchtime. I'm just kidding. Your direct to button. All right, so if you want to go to an airport or any waypoint, this is where you come, you click on direct to. Now it will bring this page up. You can choose to either type in a waypoint, because the airport is considered a waypoint, right? You could either consider type in a waypoint here. Let's say kilo. Let's say I want to go to Boston. Let's say I want to go to Boston. I can either click on nearest airport, and because Boston is not near to me, I have to type it in. So I can either click on here and type in kilo. Instead of Boston, let me say Atlanta, ATL, and then I'll click enter, and then I'll come down here and click activate. Or what I can do also is, we're going to talk about this big knob. I can use this knob to change around, but why do it? This thing is a touchscreen, so I go ahead and click it and go enter and come down here and activate. But what if this, I click here and this airport is within, it's part of my my nearest airport. Okay, if it is part of my nearest airport, I'm going to say, let's say for example MCN, let's say for example SBO. I can click the nearest SBO, then come back here, activate. Now it's taking me to SBO from where I'm at. Okay, which will be east northeast heading. Okay, that is what it does. This direct to take you to your waypoint. Now let's go to this big button dial down here. This dial has two. They have a big round one on the outside, and it has a little round one in the inside. So now think of this as a book. So that big dial will be the chapter of their book. The chapter is bigger than the page, right? So big numbers, big things for big knob. So if I want to change my frequency, and I have 118.10, 118 would be the big number, the chapter, and anything after that point will be the small one. So I use the inner, the small dial. So for example, I got 118 point something here, right? If I want to type in this, I can type it in here. But I can also choose, I don't know why would I do that, especially in the bumpy weather, I can type the thing in. But you can choose also to dial this in. So 118 point, let's say I have 119.20. So I can come with a big knob to the right, 119. You see how it changes. Then for the point, instead of using the big knob, I'll come outside to the inside to the small dial and put my 20 in there. So now I have my 119.20. Okay, this is what this thing do. And if you change in pages, you use that big knob to get to that page, and then within that page, whatever you want to navigate, you use that small knob. Okay, we're going to get some example in. So but for this part of the video, we want to use, we just wanted to talk about the knob and the soft key button we have on this thing. Now one more thing we can do with this big knob, Okay, this big knob also has the option where you can push in. Okay, when you push it in, see right here we have a box that says COM and we have a box that says nav. So right now it's on the COM, so anything I change will be changed on the left side. But what if I want to change something on the right hand side? This is where when you push it in one time, it switch. So pretty much this is changing book. Let's say I have this one book. Now the information on one is in another book. I have to drop this one book and then pick up another book. So this is changing between books. And then when you go to that book, now you go back to the big knob to flip to the chapter and the small knob to navigate in the pages. Okay, so this one big button here has three different function. It got a big knob, it has the small knob, and it has a push in. Alright guys, for this video that will be it, and I hope you are following along. So if you haven't watched the first video, go ahead and watch it. And this one was only about the buttons and the knob on this unit. I will see you guys in the next part of it.